How long does it normally take you to like come up with a concept or idea for a beat?
5 minutes to 5 days. I tell
Wow.
you. It all depends on I guess how I'm feeling that day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I go by feeling of the days. Like let's see here.
He's ready to hop in the whip, roll that windows down right here.
But then you got your days where you don't want any. Let me see here. The Valley. Or this one, I'm actually want to shop this one a Ghostface Killer, and you'll see why.
Can we talk about it now?
Oh yeah, that sounds like a Ghostface Killer track already.
The trouble that we've been having lately. I really can't stand the way, that we're acting toward each other. It's just not right, Here I want to love you. And you say you want to love me, but then you get in the bed and you turn your back on me and you're angry. And what have I done? I just gotta be near you. I just gotta.
Really?
With a love like that.
On the corner,
With a love like
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
With a love like that.
I just heard Ghostface crying on this whole track.
He be spitting though.
With a love like that.
Oh yeah,
Like, okay, it's not certain popular things. You still have the soulful elements in, all of your music. Like, is that a Detroit thing? Like, the old school players is from Detroit. You know what I mean? Is that something that?
I mean that's a heavily influenced. Like you gotta think about it. I grew up around people who used to listen like Marvin Gaye,
Right.
The Temptations, the Four Tops. Like used to hear and every single time used to be the same thing. Young blood, you don't know nothing about this. And I guess after some years, I finally realized like, okay, maybe I need to study this type of music.
Mm-hmm.
So, after that, I think that I got more into sampling when I figured out that people used to always take like the best piece of the record and used to be all noticeable, but the whole challenge is to take a sample and make it unnoticeable and pretty much play the Catch Me If You Can.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I remember when I guess Knife Wonder was like one of the first producers. I'll say that he flipped Anita Baker sample, and I remember this because it wasn't that long ago. I was still producing, sampling, but when he did that, he flipped it to the point where no one has ever took like the I part of the record, and then all of a sudden it just made it like completely crazy. Is don't do the same thing the same person did.
Right.
Do something different.
And that's I think the basis of music making is you try to figure out, something original. But if you're able to use the technique of sampling and you use something that nobody nobody recognizes and flip it, make it original, and people gonna be like, wow, that I never knew that.
I can play you something out the ordinary, like you just kind of want it to flow. Some people, like, I take the words of like Jay-Z in Fade to Black, when he was like, once artists start thinking, that's when it all goes wrong. Pretty much, the right beat, the right artist, you crack the door open and let God in, And I always took that saying as like, Jay was right. You can't think. You know, the whole process is feeling, and also you go off of emotions of how you feeling that day. If you're feeling really partyish that day, more than likely you're gonna make you know, a song with major chords, more happy. If you're feeling sad, it's gonna be more minor chords, you know, minor keys. It just really depends on the mood, because you can't force someone to make something happy when they feel like crap inside. So with my process, I get an idea of like what I want to do today. If it's like, all right, I want to try to make this R&B joint today, then probably the day before I'm listening to maybe 75% R&B just to get me in that mood, just to go create.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm like, I want to make a R&B song, but I want to sample, and I want to kind of make a hip hop R&B song, then more than likely I'll probably go to the record store, dig through some crates, see what artists I really want to sample from, or see what artists I just want to listen to. May get me in that mood to do something. If I want to make something really live, 808s, really heavy, then, you know, I dig through the library. But besides that, it's all about kind of going through reference points of maybe artists you might want to listen to.
Mm-hmm.
Something to get you in that mode to make that music. And then once you get the idea and really start going through the first steps, then every step is just going to be fluent.
Have you like produced whole bodies of work? So with meshing your process with the artist process, how does that usually work out, or what are some of the tools you use to kind of be able to mesh creativity so it's exactly what both of you all intended for it, how you both of you all intended for it to sound?
Well, one thing I learned about artists, each artist got a problem. So I usually ask them, like, you know, have like a 5-minute conversation with them, like, you know, what's good, you know, what's going on. You know, they usually tell me what's going on with them, and I'll be like, yo, how you feeling today? And from how they feeling today is what's going to be the outcome of the track. You know, if they're like, you know, I'm feeling good, you know, and you can kind of tell just by the body movement, just the vibe of them, how they're feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And then that way you can go on ahead and try to make something that can capture the feeling at that exact time. So that's what I go off of.